Me, I'm tired of waiting. I am tired of waiting. I am tired of waiting. How many people are tired of waiting? To remove a dictator, you must make his life uncomfortable. You must give him sleepless nights. You must make sure that he finds Kenya a very small place. How many people are able to join me to make Kenya uncomfortable for Kasongo? Nione kwa mikono, nione.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Edwin Sifuna, James Orengo and Babu Owino today convened parallel ODM NDC at Fungamano House.
We will respect Oburu Odinga as our elder, but not our leader. Kwa hivyo, ile NDC ambayo iko illegal pale, is that the true spirit of ODM? Is that the true spirit of ODM? Is that the true spirit of Raila Amolo Odinga? Is that the true spirit of the youth, men and women who fought to bring down the towers of oppression and raise the banners of freedom?
I want to talk about that Ufungamano NDC. But first of all, allow me to ask you this question. In your own opinion, was it a success or was it a failure? I know most of you are waiting for my personal opinion, which I'm going to give in the next few seconds. But let me ask you, what was Pauline Njoroge doing at that event? Or what was Gen Z Badi and the other ladies doing there? Because this was supposed to be an ODM event. Someone like Gen Z Badi actually celebrated when Raila Odinga passed on. In this video, I want to analyze that particular event, what I think. You could have a different opinion.
Oburu, tafuta SG wako. Mimi siwezi kuwa SG wa Oburu. Hiyo nataka niseme hapa mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu na mbele ya taifa zima. I will not be the SG of mediocrity after Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. You characters don't deserve me. I will say this without fear or favor.
Before I do that, in case you're watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button, because what we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a manner you can't find in any other place. That's why sometimes the interactions here can be very emotive. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my take. Number one, Edwin Sifuna, James Orengo, and Babu Owino must decide immediately and start charting their own political path away from ODM party. For those who've been on this platform for a very long time, I used to advise Babu Owino long time ago, even when Raila Odinga was still alive, that he needed to chart his own political path away from ODM party. Because by that time, Babu did not have a chance. For Sifuna, he was still the Secretary General of the party, one of the allies, closest allies of Raila Odinga. But right now, what they need to do, chart their own political path. What does that mean? They need to move with speed, form their own political party, enter into their own alliances, and forget about ODM party. Because if they believe that ODM party is dead, why stick to it? If, for example, Edwin Sifuna, just the way he said, cannot have Oburu Odinga as his party leader, then tomorrow they'll still go for a political rally in Mombasa, for example, over the weekend, but still sing about ODM party. That will be taking themselves back. If I were them, the first advice is chart their own political path, announce their party, or officially just say we are done with ODM party. We are no longer going to be part of it. We don't want anything to do with it because of reason one, probably because of the broad-based government. Reason two, because of the way these guys disrespected Raila Amolo Odinga. If they were to do that, they're definitely going to command a lot of respect. So I hope they're watching this. That is my advice to them. The first one, please chart your own political path. In my tomorrow's video, I'll explain to you guys what next for Edwin Sifuna after resigning as the SG of the party. Number two, and I don't know whether you will agree with me or disagree, But I think their timing for this NDC was wrong. ODM announced through Oburu Odinga that they were going to convene the NDC. If I were them, I would not have organized a parallel NDC. Of course, they did that because they also wanted the limelight. But if I were them, I would not have convened a parallel NDC. By convening a parallel NDC, they gave those guys the legitimacy they wanted. So if they had organized a major political rally tomorrow, then all these guys were going to talk the way they were talking. Then for them, just quiet. Then the next day, poop, a major political rally at Jacaranda. Then start hitting and hammering each and every speaker who spoke, each and every decisions and resolutions which were made at the ODM NDC. By doing that, they would have really won the sympathy. Because the most important thing these guys should have worked on was how to win the sympathy of ODM supporters. Because I've told you and I'm repeating, Edwin Sifuna is very popular today. Why? Because he was opposed to William Ruto and progressive government. But most of his core supporters are from ODM party. The fact that they held a parallel NDC and people are questioning whether the people they were with are actually ODM members, it means the sympathy they can't win. The fact that he talked the way he talked to Oburu Odinga, most people assume that he got angry because of the presence of Ababu Namwamba, for example, during the ODM NDC. So for me, their timing was not very right. I could be wrong there. But if I were them, I would not have organized that. My third point is that these guys had everything for them to lose. They had the support of the people, the goodwill and everything. But I tend to think that Edwin Sifuna and Babu Wino and James Orengo to that extent fell for the trap laid for them by Oburu Odinga. What was the trap? The moment Oburu Odinga was nominated as the party leader and approved in Mombasa, there was still some legal issues around that appointment. And they pointed it out that that appointment was not as per the ODM constitution. So what did they do? They called for an ODM NDC. Then, they said, call for ODM NDC, and then we'll see. What happened? Oburu Odinga called for that NDC.
We are going to have our NDC. These people have been saying that Oburu is illegitimate because he was not confirmed by NDC. We have called NDC on 27th of this month, and we are inviting them to come, and if they have anything that they want to say, let them tell the people of Kenya through our NDC there, and we shall meet them there. We are going to meet them there, and those who are delegates, are you going to give me the leadership of the party?
Then after Oburu Odinga called for that NDC, what did they do? They denounced it. They said it's only the SG who could or who can convene the NDC. But of course, ODM as a political party gave room. I think after Magarere and Ababu Namwamba incidences, they gave window for that NDC to be called without the input of the SG. So they disowned it. Then what happened next? Oburu Odinga and the group failed to mention the location. Then Oburu mentioned the location. What did they do? They promised Kenyans that, good, now they're coming to Nairobi. Let us meet there. Let us see. Then from nowhere, they organized a parallel one, which for me was an afterthought. Because personally, I've been reading James Orengo body language very closely because Orengo is more senior. If you followed Orengo's Facebook page, the initial plan was for the Mombasa rally, which was supposed to happen a day after this event. Then I think they agreed that let us have our own. So for me, if I were them, I would have fought from within. What Winnie is doing. That was going to be the best strategy. Let them do whatever they want. Let them remove Sifuna. Sifuna still remains a member of the party. Then after that, after Sifuna is removed, let him fight from within. Because signs were already there that Winnie was joining this camp. So Winnie was a very big asset for them. The moment they lost Winnie, they should have followed the footpath and joined Winnie within. Then they give trouble, a lot of it from within. But of course, you never know. My fourth point, maybe they wanted an exit strategy. If this was their exit strategy from the party, then I don't see any problem. Then it was well planned and well executed. But if it was not their exit strategy, because running a political party is not easy. It's not easy. And of course, their value, they also had more value while serving as ODM. Sifuna was the ODM SG. That's not a small position. So I don't know what you think. But for me, I just pray and hope that they are going to push. They are going to have an agenda which is going to unite the entire opposition with the aim of producing a single presidential candidate. Because Sifuna cannot leave the position of the ODM SG just to become another senator for Nairobi. He must be on the ballot. And I think that was the message Edwin Sifuna was sending by saying he cannot be he cannot be the SG of Oburu Odinga. He's bigger than that now. So if he's bigger than that, then it means the only thing he can only become a party leader and a presidential candidate. So let us wait and see how all these things is going to pan out. And I'm closely monitoring Babu Owino and James Orengo. Because for me, I think the biggest loser in all this is not going to be Orengo. It's going to be probably Babu Owino. Because Babu Owino, if you lose the support of the Luo Nation, the idea of becoming the kingpin is going to be suspended for some time. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.